September 13th, 2020. Thought I'd try to get a quick walk through the garden in this morning. Picked up some cardboard. So gonna try to get some weeds down in the next week, maybe some more. Still haven't got this corner completely cleaned out. Hopefully the cardboard will take down a few of those. Been working on some more weeds here. A few more left to go again, and they'll be hopefully wiped out. These, of course, is the flowers, irises leaning over. Hosta is in bloom. Tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, growing. One's gotten out of the backside of the cage there. Still a long ways to go. They're not doing too well up front. Picked green beans last night. I'm not sure, but probably about 17-18 pounds. Looks like a couple cucumbers I need to pick. Not a whole lot of plants left, but still getting a few. Few mushmelon, smaller ones, second set setting on. A new patch in the back. Oh, about got hit by a bird. Zucchinis, most of them still alive. Looks like a honeybee busy pollinating there. These, of course, have grown together in the middle. I'll have to work on a new trellising system next year. Looks like I didn't even pick the beans there. Let's see. This is what they look like on top. Just blooming away. You hear the bees busy pollinating them. Some loofahs growing nice. They will be quite late, barely making it this year. Another one growing from the tree. To give you an idea, the loofah is growing clear at the end. There's one planted there. There's 4 planted along there. Some more loofahs setting on. Another loofah here in the tree. And there it is, producing another one up there, and the ends down here. So they grow a very long distance. A new tomato plant, I believe it's pronounced Ilda. There is a cherry tomato right there being put on in all those spikes. The plant that too has the spikes. Be interesting to see how good the flavor is on these if the plant has to protect the fruit. Ooh, so seriously. Trying to adjust the plant there and it got me. Bitter melons. Got quite a few of those. A couple of them needs to have the seeds collected from. A beautiful smelling plant blooming today. Not sure which one it is. I've been picking some red raspberries. Not getting them all picked. They're getting ahead of me. Weeds here. The seed needs to be taken out of the garden as soon as possible. Goldenrod in the background needs to be removed. That will have to be dug due to multiplication by roots very badly. But this patch of new mushmelon, or newer mushmelons, and the turmeric doing quite nicely. Hopefully there'll be time to get in a picking. Got to get the sweet corn removed, chopped down. That will probably go into a path to keep the weeds down. Some straw still left, working on getting that used up. Okra will have to be picked today sometime. Corn stalks are still way up there. Got a few ears, hopefully will do something. Got a spider, as usual, down in the pineapple. This pineapple is doing quite well. I've got two of them, both of them from the same plant in there. They both produced last year, I believe. They'll probably produce again next year. Looks like an eggplant down there setting on, and a couple more over there. Finally got these picked off. A few was overripe. I laid down there. Got to get the flowers cut out of the path soon. Cucumbers still constantly dying. Do have a few plants left. Trellis systems seem to have worked most of the year. We'll definitely be doing this again next year. Quite possibly the same place, not sure. Rotation seems to not be working too well, so I'm going to quit rotating my garden and just constantly build up the soil. These tomatoes done quite well. Should have picked a few more of these when I was doing juice the other day. Got 10 quarts of tomato juice. Sadly, I'd misplaced one bag on a side row and missed it, so I could have had 12. Pepper plant getting close to the top wire. Several nice peppers finally producing on the plants. Nobody shows up soon. I'll probably have to try to put away some stuffed peppers. Another volunteer green bean. It's went pretty crazy over here. Not sure what this was supposed to be back here, but these have turned out to be cantaloupe. Very tasty. Definitely going to plant some of them again next year. Definitely need to put down a little cardboard and or something and kill a few weeds back here. A few more to pull out. Weeds are back in the strawberry patch here again. I'll have to weed and mulch this again. It's not near as thick as it was last year. Irrigation still has to be put in over here. It's laying there. Looks like a nice ripe strawberry. Nothing like fresh strawberries in the fall, if you can get them off the plant. Very good flavor. Some more strawberries. They ought to be reproducing, or growing strawberries, but they're not. asparagus and wild strawberries. Of course, there's several wild strawberries. They're constantly reproducing. Much smaller, but a lot better flavor. I was looking to see if there was one here. There is one. It is a white strawberry, one of my very best tasting ones. Definitely the best. Gotta get my briars cleaned up, and one more black raspberry I'm going to take out. Next year this will be bell peppers through here. They grew very good last year. This will be going back to green beans. They done excellent here last year. Newer tomatoes. This one isn't doing too bad. Heavy with tomatoes laying down. This one's growing vertical, not quite as heavy with tomatoes. I believe that is a yellow tomato there. But this will be one of the new varieties for next year. And this over here, I believe, will definitely be a new variety for next year. Tomatoes look like they might be a little smaller. But I was thinking I seen some over here that are not so small. So I'll probably pick the larger seeds. They, of course, were planted very late. Wasn't sure if they would have time to produce ripe tomatoes, and they're already climbing completely out of the top of the trellis system. Now I've removed the tops out of some of these plants to ripen tomatoes quicker. There's some of the larger tomatoes. Not huge, but nice sized. And of course, they're still growing. Excuse me, a little bug just decided he wanted eaten. Grapevine. My boys, grandsons, helped me pick the grapes yesterday, so I'll be making some more juice, most likely today. Mulch pile out there. Gonna have to get it around and spread through the garden and everything. Back garden. Cleaned up a little bit in the path, not very much yet. Gonna have to get this mowed soon. It's got weed seed everywhere. Smallest, youngest pineapple, I should say, growing very nicely. Tobacco plant has gotten tobacco worms and a few tomato worms probably on it as well. Right there is one right now. Little bitty one. Tomato worms as well on the potatoes, or tobacco worm. I'm not sure. The stripes are different between tomato worms and tobacco worms. This is the only difference. Something's been back here eating the leaves off the beans as usual. You need to get some cardboard here. Get these last weeds down. In this bed, re-weeded one more time and mulched. I believe I'm taking out these herbs, wanting to dry these So that's what's, I guess, slowed me down a little bit. Dill, this is the only three, probably two remaining plants. Some tomatoes. This is the Whoppers. They've been slowly ripening. That one's pretty small. These tomatoes just didn't make it well at all in these herbs. This one plant is growing right here at the end. Green tomatillos. They seem to have turned yellow, so I'm not sure if the seed was correct. The beef masters are reaching the top wire, so they are going to continue to grow. Very nice green tomatoes still on them. They've been producing for a while, so definitely going to plant these again next year. Might definitely be a constant in the garden. The purple tomatillos. We'll replant these again next year, but they're not being eaten as well as I'd hoped. They got quite tall. Of course, they are growing under the hickory tree. The white tomatoes back here, did not sell any of those. I'll probably cut them down to 1 or 2 plants next year. They are a low acid plant, but have a really good flavor. Ginger, definitely most likely the section that'll be planted in ginger next year. New melon there, I believe. Just didn't quite take off back here. I believe it's because I got the irrigation in too late. It was extra wet back here, but I believe the melons take a little extra. My sage. I've been meaning to dig this before I did a video. This is the back potato patch right underneath the hickory tree, and I mean, it's well underneath it. Animals keep digging in, but I did dig some potatoes and wanted to show everyone what happened with the potatoes in here. Of course, may not be able to get any dug out. It looks like this might have been eaten by animals. I'm going to pause this and dig a few. Okay, sadly some of them most of them been eaten. This one's been eaten on. But that's not really too bad of a potato. The others I dug was about this size. A few of them larger. This is one I dug the other day. It has literally been mostly eaten. This was eaten underground. So the moles and shrews and stuff back here is definitely a problem. But as far as growing larger potatoes, these are the best potatoes I grew this year. A little more ginger. Some plants in pots, some grapevines. Definitely gonna have to try to get them sold. Bell peppers. Some growing in pots. Now these are at least 3 years old, I believe. So keeping bell peppers indoors is not a problem. They would of course be larger had they been in larger pots and been by themselves. The turmeric, the peanut, of course planted by mice, and a little strawberry I stuck in there. I didn't think would live. That might be a promising place for him. This one's had two. One died off, and tobacco keeps coming up in the pot. I had to pull that one out again. If I got these out into the garden in sunlight, they might have done a little better too. Some new strawberries. I need to get them potted someplace larger. Done lost this whole tray. This strawberry did reproduce not too long ago. Was hoping it would bloom again. It hasn't yet. Another new strawberry that I haven't got in the garden yet. That's one of the projects I've been trying to work on, but it's been too wet. Racking system for trays. I'm not sure if I've showed you this yet. So hopefully next year this will hold 16 plant trays on this system. Planning on putting these here in somewhere. It'll hold a few more. One more shelf there. Need to go in. Video's getting very long. See if we can get this shut down. Paste tomatoes aren't doing too bad, but this pole bean took off. Looks like I missed picking a few again last night there, and I think I need to cut the base and let it die. I did pick it last night to get the beans off, but I've got plenty of beans now. I'm working on tomatoes. One of my larger pineapples seems to be getting a yellow hue, so it looks like this one may be ripening in October or November instead of ripening in December. Something has dug some potatoes. Again, flowers is down. I've already cleaned the flowers out of this aisle once. Once you prune them back, they just keep on growing. This down here does have some pretty flowers. This is the miniature paint variety, and by miniature, this is as high as I can hold the camera, clear past my reach. So that is well over 6 foot tall. Those there are the regular version. They're well over 7 foot. Another beautiful little ones. Again, the porterhouse tomato, fine green tomatoes, just have not managed to get any of them to really ripen. This one here is a porterhouse here, and it's doing the best right now so far. Of course, marigold growing here. It's reached a 5.5 foot mark. Constellute Genovese, easily over 7 foot. I believe I forgot to pick these the other day when canning. I did pick the ones on this side behind me. They're about ready to pick again. They're doing quite well. Leaning over, they're closer to 7 foot. Of course, the cucamelons, or I call them little fairy melons, are growing through it everywhere. And I do mean a jungle everywhere. These tomatoes died out very quickly, so I left the green bean to take its place. We'll probably cut the roots and let the plant die and leave the nitrogen that are on the roots in the ground for next year. Another pineapple. This one will produce likely next year. This one has many suckers sitting on the side. And of course, the suckers is how the professional growers regrow pineapples. They don't keep the pineapple tops, they sell them to you. And they remove the suckers. And that one has 3. They would replant the whole plant and use the 3 suckers to make 3 separate plants that would produce in about 18 months from planting. This patch of turmeric's doing very nice. Need to cut out a few more flowers here. I got a yellow squash that crossed with a zucchini. They need picked again today. They're a quite nice cooking squash. Them's getting away from me, a little big. Okra, very nice height to it. Well over my own height. A few more peppers. Of course, not getting picked and they're rotting, so I need to remove them and pitch them so the plants can regrow new ones. Sadly, not been selling a lot of peppers and haven't stopped to put any away yet. Might be a project for this week before I get busy on anything else. Tree still has to be moved. We did get a little bit of rain last night, so not only the dew, but everything's wet from the rain. But that is the garden for September 13th. More flowers blocking the end of the aisle at the end. Next year I have a feeling they'll be literally everywhere.